In this lecture, we are going to create a login form in our Angular application. So in the last lecture, we created a login component. If I go to VS Code, here inside the app folder, we have this auth folder, and in this auth folder, we have this login folder where we have login component related files. So in there, let's go to login component.html, and here instead of displaying this h3 element, we want to show a login form. Now, in order to save some time, I have already written some HTML, so I'm going to copy it from here. And again, I'm going to share this login component.html file and this login component.css file with the resource link. So I'll copy this HTML. Let's go back to VS Code and let's replace it here. So it is a very simple form where we have an email input. So an input of type email, and we have an input of type password. And then we have this login button. Okay, and then after that we are also showing a link to go to sign up page from the login page. So this is a very simple HTML here. Let me save the changes. If we go to our application and there, if I go to the login page, you see we have an email input field and the password input field, and we also have this login button. And then here we also have the sign up link. So if the user wants to go to sign up page from the login page, he can click on this link. Now, in order to design this sign up form, I have also written some CSS. So let's go ahead and let's copy that CSS from here. Let's go back to VS Code and let's go to login component.css, and there let me paste that CSS. So here again I'm writing a very simple CSS to design the login form, to design the input elements and the buttons, etc. So if I save the changes here and if we go to our application, the login form will look something like this. The login page will look something like this. If I go to sign up page, here we do not have anything right now, but if I go to login page, you can see the login form there. Okay, so the login form is created. Currently, it is a simple HTML form. Now, we are going to make this simple HTML form a reactive form. For that, first of all, in the auth module, we are going to import the reactive form module. So here I'm going to import reactive form module because we want to create a reactive form. So for that, first we need a reactive form module imported in the auth module. Let's save the changes here. Now let's go to login component.ts file, and in here I'm going to create a form. I'm going to call it as login form, which is going to be of type form group. And to use this form group, we need to import it from Angular/forms, and then inside the ng on init. So for that, first I'll implement on init interface. Okay, and since we have implemented the on init interface, now we need to implement ng on init. In there, I'm going to instantiate this login form. So here we will say this dot login form equals new form group. Okay, to this we need to pass an object, and in that object we are going to specify the controls which we want to have for this login form. So here I want to have two controls. I want to have an email field, and here let's use new form control, and again to use this form control we need to import it from Angular/forms. To this, as the first argument, we are going to pass null because initial value should be null, and as the second argument we are going to specify some validators. So in the validators we are going to use this validators, the static class, and on that we are going to use required. So the email field should be required and it should be also of type email. So again I'll say validators dot email. These two validations I want on the email field. Next, I'm going to create a password field. And to create this password field, to create this password form control, again, we are going to use this form control. So basically here, we are creating an instance of this form control. There, first we are going to pass an initial value for the password. It should be null. And then let's specify the validators. So again, inside the array, we are going to specify the validators. Again, password should be required field. So here I'll say validators dot required. And since it is a login form, here I'm not going to specify the minimum length for the password. That we will do when we will create the sign up form. So for this password field, I only want to have one validator. Let's save the changes. Now let's go to login component.html, and on that we are going to use a directive called form group. And to this, for now, let me close this authModule.ts, and to that we are going to assign this login form property. Okay, and in this way we are connecting this form to this login form group which we are creating here. Then we also have this email and password property for this form group. So for that, let me move it to separate line to make it more readable. And then on this email input, I'm going to add formControlName, this directive, and to this let's assign email. So this email is nothing but this email property. In the same way, on the password input, there also I'm going to add formControlName. So this is a directive, and to that we are going to assign a property. Which property? This password property. Let's save the changes. Now, when this login button will be clicked, you see the type for this button is submit. So when this login button will be clicked, it is going to submit the form. And when the form will be submitted, on the form, ngSubmit event will be emitted. So we are going to bind that ngSubmit event. And whenever the ngSubmit event happens, let's say we want to call a method on login. You can give it a more meaningful name, but here I'm simply going to call as on login. And let's go ahead and let's create this on login method. So let's go to login component.ts, and after this ng on init, let's go ahead and let's create that on login method. And here I'm simply going to log this dot login form dot value. We know that this login form will have a value property, and this value property is going to be an object which is going to store all the fields and value for those fields in the form. So let's save the changes here. Let's go to our application. Let me open developer console. Let's clear everything. And here for the email, if I say johnsmith@gmail.com, and for the password, let's simply say test1234. If I click on this login button, you will see an object has been logged, and in that object we have the email and the password entered in this login form. All right, now let's also go ahead and let's quickly add the validation. So in the HTML, what I'm going to do is, maybe after this input element, I'm going to add a div, and here let me go ahead and let me add a CSS class. And what I'll do is I'll open this courses folder. There we have this add course folder, and in the add course component.css, we are having a CSS class called validation errors. So I'm going to copy this CSS class. Let's close this file, and let's go to login component.css, and there also I'm going to add that CSS class. And now I'm going to use this CSS class. So let me copy this, and let's also save this file. Let's close it, and let's add that CSS class on this div. Now here I'm going to use string interpolation syntax, and from here I'm going to call a method validate email. Let's go ahead and let's create this method in login component. Okay, and inside this we are going to validate the email field. For that, here I'll simply say if this dot login form dot, and here we need to use get method. Here we will pass the field name, which is email. So if it is touched, and what I'll also do is, to make it more readable, let me create a variable and let me call it as email control. And this expression here, it is going to give us access to that email control. So I'll copy it, I'll paste it here. Okay, and let's now use this email control. So here we'll say if email control is touched and if the email control is not valid. So before this valid property, I'm going to use this not operator. That means some validation error has occurred. Now to check what type of validation error has occurred, here we are going to write an if statement, and here again we will say if email control dot error. So if any validation error has occurred, we will have this errors object which will not be null. It will be assigned with the actual validation error which has occurred, and here we are going to use square bracket notation, and there we are going to pass required. So if this validation error has occurred, if the required validation error has occurred, in that case we are going to return a string saying that email is a required field. Okay, then we are going to check if, and again here we will say email control dot errors dot, and not dot, here we are going to use square bracket notation, and there we are going to pass the validation error name. So if the email validation error has occurred, so validation error name will be email. In that case we are going to return another error saying that email is not valid. Okay, otherwise if everything is okay, in that case we are simply going to return empty string. Let's save the changes and let's quickly test this. So let's go to our application. Let me close this. Let me simply click on OK. Okay, so here you see we are getting this error message, email is not valid because JS is not a valid email. If I don't specify any email, then we get this error message, email is a required field. If I specify some random string there, an invalid email, it says email is not valid. So the validation error is working. Let's go back and I'll remove this exclamation from here and from here also. All right, now we are going to create same type of function to validate the password. So let me copy this. Let's paste it here. If you remember, for this password, we only have a single validator which is required. So here, first of all, I'll rename it to validate password. And in here, we are going to pass the field name as password. Okay, and let's call it as password control. And now I'm going to use this variable everywhere in this method. Okay, now we are not going to check for the email, so I'm going to remove this. And here we will say password is a required field. Let's save the changes. Let's go to login component.html. There I'll copy this div and let's paste it after this password field. And in here we are going to call validate password method. Let's save the changes. Let's go back to our application. And here if I don't specify the password, you see we are getting that error message, password is a required field. So the validation is also working. So in this lecture, we created a login form, and on that login form, we have also added some validation. And we have created this login form using Angular Reactive Form. Now, in the next lecture, we are going to implement the functionality where when this login button is clicked, we want to make an API call to log in the user. And in this course, as the backend service, we are going to use Firebase. So using Firebase, we are going to create some tables in the Firebase database. And we are also going to use Firebase Auth APIs for authentication, for login and sign up. So let's see how we can do that in our next lecture. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.